Today we will talk about XRP and its future, even though it's at a challenging time thanks to the lawsuit filed against the company. You can check out my video on SEC lawsuit against XRP may provide guidance for crypto industry. XRP was founded back in 2012, backed by Ripple Labs Inc. The company has been making waves for various reasons, including its adoption by the Bank of France. Welcome to Moneyside. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications for more. Last week, the Bank of France recently announced considering the use of XRP and Ripple to launch their central bank digital currency, CBDC platform. The Banque de France is an independent organization that's governed by French and European law. It's also a Eurosystem member, consisting of the European Central Bank and other central banks present in the Euro area. And over 80% of central banks are exploring some form of sovereign-backed cryptocurrency to create the CBDC. What does that mean for XRP and Ripple to be a part of the CBDC? The Central Bank of France prefers using XRP over big giants such as Bitcoin and Ethereum. And that's not all. A report written by the CPA Australia suggests that Ripple gained several central banks' attention worldwide thanks to its effective Ripple network. Unlike other blockchain mining concepts, Ripple's network, or RippleNet, is unique in its consensus mechanism distribution through the network and the transaction validation. Through conducting a poll, the servers used in RippleNet decided on the authenticity and validation of a specific transaction. On the other hand, Bitcoin uses the proof-of-work consensus protocol, where the blockchain operates on a public ledger that supports a digital cryptocurrency. The Bitcoin network is based on a public ledger of transactions and record keeping. Miners are charged with the responsibility of verifying transactions and adding them to the Bitcoin blockchain. They are then rewarded with Bitcoin when the validation is complete. XRP uses a different set of technology that's widely known for its payment protocol and network. Ripple is best known for its payment settlement, remittance system, and asset exchange that are even more effective than SWIFT. Instead of a mining protocol, Ripple uses a unique consensus mechanism through the server's network to validate transactions. That enables immediate confirmation without using any central authority, hence ensuring the decentralized nature of XRP is intact. More importantly, this protocol is faster, more reliable compared to most of XRP's competitors. Bitcoin has mainly been accused of being too energy hungry because of its mining systems, but RippleNet consumes negligible power due to its mining-free consensus. Ethereum essentially uses the same proof-of-work mechanism through the platform is set to migrate to the proof-of-stake consensus. Ripple supporting central banks using their private ledger. The consensus and fast transaction times are not the only things that attracted the world's central banks to Ripple, including the Central Bank of France. Ripple also announced that they are testing a private version of their ledger that should technically support central banks, hence developing central bank digital currencies, CBDCs. According to their official announcement written by James Wallace, the CBDC private ledger is designed on the same blockchain like the one that powers the XRP ledgers. That means the CBDC private ledger is built for payment. Interestingly, Ripple highlighted the growing interest of CBDCs worldwide, mentioning that the first central bank digital currency's arrival is inevitable. Ripple also highlighted that most cryptocurrencies run on public ledgers, hence don't have the central bank's privacy. That said, Ripple is the best-suited cryptocurrency with a private ledger that's more than capable of handling all central bank needs. Moving money on a CBDC private ledger is cost-effective, nearly instantaneous, and reliable. The CBDC private ledger can also handle high volumes of transactions within a second, tens of thousands of transactions within 1 second. It also has the potential to scale up to hundreds of thousands of transactions over time. That said, Banque de France has openly discussed their consideration of using XRP and Ripple for their European central digital currency. The growth of XRP. Despite the lawsuit filed against Ripple in December of 2020, the The company has reported significant growth over the last few weeks. In an interview with Reuters, Ripple CEO Garlinghouse said that XRP liquidity had grown significantly outside the U.S., even with the current lawsuit. He also added that Ripple is witnessing growth in the Asian markets as well. However, Ripple's price saw a massive impact after the SEC lawsuit was filed, but later gained more than 100% from the start of 2021. Even though the fate of XRP in the U.S. is still uncertain, the cryptocurrency's trading volume outside the States ranks it as the 7th largest digital coin in the world. As much as the future of this coin is still shaky, its undeniable effectiveness still stands out from the rest of the altcoins in the market. XRP Whale transfers 745 million coins. The total value of the transaction stands at around $330 million. XRP price jumped more than 10% in the March 15th after a rise in demand from retail investors. Anonymous XRP transactions are also on the rise amid price growth as an unknown user moved 745 million coins to an unidentified crypto wallet. According to the latest data published by the blockchain tracking and analytics firm Whale Alert, an unknown whale transferred $330 million worth of XRP tokens on 15 March. XRP is trading around 47 cents, with a market cap of more than $21 billion. Anonymous cryptocurrency transactions have been on the rise for the last few weeks. On 16 February 2021, an anonymous crypto user moved nearly 220 million XRP from digital exchange Coinbase to an unknown wallet. In this analysis about XRP USD, we are looking at the 6-hour time frame perspectives, the recent events, the established formational structure, and what we can expect in the upcoming times. In recent times, XRP USD has managed to hold its important zones of support and bounce severely within. Now, in this case, I discovered a meaningful formational structure XRP USD is forming that can move into some more solid determinations. Currently, XRP USD is still somewhat in an accumulation. However, this can change when XRP USD gets up and continues with further alignments. Therefore, I detected all the important levels and likely destinies we should consider within the established zones and upcoming movements. Structural developments. As when looking at the chart, we can watch there how XRP USD held its structure within this ascending channel formation marked in blue, in which XRP USD already accumulated before in the bullish bounces to the upside. Now a similar movement is going on with XRP USD, established a coherent wave count within the structure already completing waves A to C in the zone, and now XRP USD is about to finish the wave D in the zone that is moving into the accumulation range, again from where XRP USD bounced to the upside already in the past. Such a determination now happens again, as the accumulation range is still a strong reference point. XRP USD has a greater likelihood to confirm it as the origin of the wave E to the upside. Upcoming determinations. Taking all these factors into consideration, now XRP USD is in a situation where it is likely to show up with the wave E developments that originate from the accumulation range. When these bullish alignments are strong enough and XRP USD moves on higher from these zones, such a price action can also lead to a breakout above the super boundary of the huge ascending channel formation, as it is marked in my chart. When XRP USD finally shows up with such a price action, it will indicate the wave E extension and testing of previous resistances ahead. For now, it will be important to elevate how XRP USD continues in the schedule and how it shows up with the bullish bounces. It will be an interesting development. In this daily chart, I will be plotting some of the major news stories regarding the SEC lawsuit against Ripple in hopes of getting a better understanding of how this lawsuit affects the price in the long run. I'm aware that there's more news concerning Ripple outside of the SEC lawsuit, and I'll try to add those articles that caused major price action. But for the time being, I think it'll be more clear to stick to SEC versus Ripple news. Fibonacci? XRP briefly touched the 0.618 ceiling in March 16th and is currently retracing back to the 0.500 line. RSI currently moving upwards at 52.67. MACD signaling a crossover on the daily chart. Key levels: 0.52 strong resistance, 0.497 nearest resistance, 0.469 nearest support, 0.437 stronger support, 0.427 lower support. Long-term trend line. Please keep in mind, we are not a licensed financial advisor. All videos on this channel are intended for entertainment purposes only. Tell us what you think about this in the comment section below, and let's have a conversation. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like this video and to click on the subscribe button below. Turn on notifications to get informed whenever we post our amazing content. We'll see you in the next video.